Hello, this is Case for Synth and Software Magazine, and today I want to talk a little bit more about piano colors and how to edit presets, because this is a really powerful feature of this library. So let's dive into Contact and take a look. Okay, so here we are in Logic, and I have piano colors pulled up. I have this preset called Dynamic Flow 1, which is a really great preset. Here I'm going to play a little bit of it. Really nice. It's got like a really beautiful, different kind of activity and rhythm and all this kind of stuff. It's really, really neat. And of course, the preset will automatically sync to Logic. However, what if the way it is right now doesn't quite work? It's close, but it's not exactly what we want it to. So Piano Colors gives us a really great way of editing these presets and fine-tuning them and customize them and make them exactly the way we want them. So starting with, we have the Arpeggiator. I'm going to click on where it says Arpeggiator here. So right now, we are working with 16th notes. So let's see here. I'm just going to play it. Okay. So maybe we want the Arpeggiator to actually go at halftime, so we can change this to 8th notes. So now like the Arpeggiator is going at half speed. And we do have an octave. Maybe we wanted to kind of switch between octaves. And let's see here. Right now it's set to 1 octaves. We can set it to 0 octaves. But if we set it to 2 octaves, let's see what happens. So we have like some nicer higher end overtones that are happening here, which is really, really cool. What else can we do? Maybe we want to add some noises, okay? So like the engine gives us this ability to add noises. We just have to switch it on, click here, and all of a sudden we can actually start adding some mechanical noises, some pedal noises, even some noises from the pianist. But for instance, here's the sound of the pedal. I'm just going to hit the pedal. So every time that like you press the pedal, it creates this sound, and every time you release it, it creates another sound. I mean, it's way too much right now, but I wanted to show you guys how it works. Then we have this mechanical thing. Okay, so this is almost like this kind of clunky, like piano keys and hammers that are just like really, really, it's almost like a piano that's been like abandoned for many years and everything's just kind of really loose and rattling around. So you get that. Then we have like a felt attack. Let's see what this does. I'm going to turn down the mechanical and the pedal for now so we can kind of hear. So you can kind of hear that we now have like this very, very pronounced kind of like sound of the felt hammers hitting the strings, kind of almost giving us this almost like a white noise sort of impact sound every time I press the keys. And then we have the pianist. Let's see here. I'm going to turn it up. This is going to be very, very subtle. Let me turn on the intensity to max. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope that it's coming through in the video. But basically, it's almost like the guy that's supposedly playing this, not me, is readjusting in the chair, so you hear a little bit of creaking. There's a little bit of like clothes brushing as his pants are maybe like kind of like like brushing against like the cover of the seat. It's really, really neat. So we have 2 layers. We have a mallet felt medium as the primary layer, and then we have a steel drum that's giving us this little bit more resonant, almost bell-like quality. What if we didn't want that though? What if we wanted to use a different instrument? We can switch this second layer, layer 2. Let's see what else. Maybe we want something a little more percussive. We have a Cajon. So if I alter the mod wheel, I can actually crossfade between the 2 different layers. So like at the bottom, we have a little bit more muted, percussive, and then we have a little brighter kind of sound. What else do we have here? We have pads, so maybe Tremolo Brass. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh, this is neat. It reminds me a little bit of that song from The Who, you know, the one with the little organ. It's kind of like this, really cool. It gives it like a really magical quality, so I really like this. Okay, what else can we do? Now we have this particles engine. And with particles, you can think of it as like a really smart, in-depth arpeggiator that adds on top of the regular arpeggiator. As a matter of fact, let me switch off the regular arpeggiator here. I'm just going to click this off. The particles engine is actually not necessarily affecting our main layers. As a matter of fact, I can switch our main layers off, layer 1, layer 2. So right now they're off, and all we're going to hear is the particle engine sounds. Okay, so this is just the particle engine. So this is on top of what was happening in layer 1, layer 2, and on top of what the arpeggiator was doing with layer 1 and layer 2. So we can actually change these presets. So right now we're using a plucked wood and a rubber mallet. So let's change that. Let's maybe go into the paper rattle. And maybe instead of the rubber, let's do a pure soft. So this is really, really interesting. Of course, everything is configurable, and everything can also be controlled by the mod wheel or some other real-time controllers. So we're hearing just the pure soft, and then if I increase the mod wheel, now we're getting like the full open, full envelope of the paper rattle. So this is really, really cool. And last but not least, you can have some global controls over your instruments, and this is really, really cool. You can add some EQ. You can add dynamics if you want to use the internal compression engine. You can also change the velocity response. There's a whole bunch of different presets, including a special preset for the Control 88 keyboard, which is really cool, as well as the other smaller control keyboards if you have one of those. We can increase the range of the pitch bend. We can change the tuning in 1 cent increments from 436 hertz all the way to 444 hertz, which is really, really cool. And last but not least, we can also change between like stretch tuning or equal temperament tuning if you have a preference for those. As you can see, Piano Colors gives you a lot of different options to fine tune and customize all these instruments. And there's definitely a lot of power in the synth engine and the particles engine, the layers, the arpeggiator, the noises. I mean, you name it, this instrument is really, really giving you a comprehensive set of tools to craft just about an unlimited range of sounds.